What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. Right now, I'm feeling like 100 grand.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Wise.
Dr. Jeremy Weiss here, founder of InspiredInsider.com, where I talk with inspirational entrepreneurs and leaders. Today is no different. I have Ben Dixon of Naxum. Check him out at Naxum.com. Ben, before I formally introduce you, I always like to point out other episodes of the podcast people should check out. Since this is part of the top SaaS series, some interesting ones. I had one of the founders of Zapier on. That was a really good one. Wade talks about how they grew the company. One of the founders of Pipedrive. And you know I think at that point, Ben, they had like 10,000 customers. Now they have maybe 100,000. So that was interesting. The founder of Aweber was also an interesting one. Just the journey of building a company in the SaaS world as well. So check those out and many more at InspiredInsider.com. This episode is brought to you by Rise 25. At Rise 25, we help businesses give to and connect to their dream relationships and partnerships. We do that in two ways. One, we help companies launch and run a podcast. We're an easy button for you to do that. We do the strategy, accountability, and the full execution and production. The second is we're an easy button for a company to gift. We make gifting, staying top of mind to clients, partners, prospects, simple, and just also been affordable. We even send gifts people want to send to their staff as well from a culture perspective. So all you have to do is give us a list of the people you want to follow up and keep in touch with. We do everything else. And we call ourselves the magic elves that run in the background to make it look easy for your company to build great relationships through the podcast and gifting. And for me, the number one thing in my life is relationships. And this ties into what Ben and their company actually does. And Ben's smiling here. But I'm always looking at ways on how I can give to my best relationships. And I have found no better way over the past decade to profile the people and companies I admire and also send them sweet treats in the mail. So check out rise25.com or email us at support@rise25.com. I'm excited to introduce Ben Dixon, CEO at Naxum Software. They power over 170 enterprise-level referral marketing companies globally. With the platforms they use, they help these companies grow and scale their businesses. And we're going to dig in deep. And this is right up my alley because I love referral marketing. I mean, people always say, Ben, like, where do your best customers come from? And the answer is always referrals. Well, how do I track this? How do I do, so We're going to talk about Naxum. So Ben, thanks for joining me and tell us about Naxum and what you do.
You got it. Well, first, Jeremy, thank you so much for inviting me to come out to the podcast. And hey, it's always a good strategy to ship people sweet stuff in the mail. So that's fantastic. And agreed. I believe that Dr. Stephen Covey, with his book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, his son wrote The Speed of Trust. And referral marketing is that whole idea of leveraging the trust people already have with one another. If you think about a lot of people try to grow with ads or grow with other traditional marketing methods of a business, impressions are kind of out of this world today. I remember when I first got into sales at 18 years old, I was selling real estate seminars in Downers Grove. And back then they'd say, well, if you have trust with someone, they're going to respond to you in 3 touches or 4 touches. But if they have no idea who you are, it's going to take 7, 8, maybe 9 touches to get their attention. And today the numbers are wildly worse, right? Even with someone with a trusted relationship, you might have to reach out 7, 8, 9 times to get their attention. And someone who's cold, right, might be 30 touches, right? We're all bombarded with so many messages on a daily basis that trust is the shortcut to relationships and channels growing a lot faster. Naxum for me has been a gift. I was really blessed went to NIU outside of the Chicagoland. We're both here in Chicagoland. I met my wife down at NIU. We were really blessed. But I watched my sister
My
was
parents
a
both
high
went
school
there
teacher.
too. So
Yeah, I got to go Huskies. All right, that's cool. But I fell into referral marketing through my sister. So the story of Naxum comes out of all this. She was selling real estate seminars out of college. She was a school teacher and a high school teacher in Aurora and Naperville, teaching high school English. And was 23 years old, and back in 2004, ended up making an extra six figures that year in our nights and weekends selling how to make money flipping houses, real estate seminars. And I was laying stone patios and mowing lawns to pay my way through NIU cash, working hard in Rockford. And said, man, well, if she can do that, I wonder what I can do. And which is what we always say, right? When you're meeting some other entrepreneur doing something. And joined her on my 18th birthday and made $0 my first 10 months, thinking I knew it all after watching her for 2 or 3 years, and got humbled big time with what it actually takes to reach out to people, and to get referrals, to network, to go do that. And then it all changed the second year for me in that business. I humbled big time, and started doing the real work they taught. It's amazing when you follow the system, right, Jeremy? You follow a process for somebody, and was really blessed. I ended up becoming one of that group's top earners in the state that next year, and it changed our life forever. We were multiple six-figure earners when we were just little kids, 19, 20 years old, selling seminars. And that was what opened my eyes to this idea of referral marketing. I didn't realize it at the time, but I was participating as one of those 1099 independent agents who's out there bringing referrals to a customer. I was in the channel for their businesses, referral marketing, right? And I loved the idea of how that business had chosen to create an opportunity for me and my family that didn't cost us really any money, right? It wasn't like starting a restaurant or another business where there was a lot of investment capital. And we were able to earn money as if we had owned two, three restaurants here in Chicago. So it was a phenomenal experience as a young person. And it was from that that caused me to say, okay, how can I help the industry of referral marketing? And so that's really the roots of where it all started. And referral marketing as a space is so much broader than some of the traditional categories. And I know we'll get to that on the show. I think a lot of people think of referral marketing as just affiliate marketing or influencers or maybe MLM in their world. And they think, oh, that's what referral marketing is. And it's so much more, from direct sales, certified resellers programs, to all kinds of different opportunities to have 1099 joint venture partners who refer clients to you, right? It can be way, way more than that. But I ended up building a piece of software that helped companies compliantly share on social media, because companies who had lots of referral marketers needed to do that. I built it and sold it to a large direct selling company called USANA Health Sciences, a company called Zengo out in Salt Lake City, Utah. And at that time, when I started my small business of a little SaaS company, I didn't have a CRM or autoresponders or any of the sales automation stuff you'd expect to have, Jeremy, in like 2009, right? And so I was looking for a good partner. I was praying, said, man, God, bring me a good partner. That'd be someone I could do this stuff with. And he brought me Rod Kirby, and Rod's the founder of Naxum. He had been running Naxum since 1999. He started doing fax on demand in 1999 of all tools, right? Imagine helping salespeople get their message out in 1999 with, here guys, here's a fax on demand tool. You just type in someone's phone number into this website and it sends them a fax with your marketing message. So that's actually where Naxum started, and it evolved into an email marketing company when people started using email addresses instead of fax machines, and then evolved into generating leads for direct selling companies and insurance companies. And then when I came on board, they acquired my technology. We partnered together because I was helping them generate social media interest, right, for their offers. And we've really evolved over the last, it's already been 16 years time there together. And we moved from just building marketing systems and the sales tools that power referral marketing infrastructure to building a lot of the traditional back office, commission tracking, commission reports, shopping carts, the other parts you need in opening a referral marketing channel. And Naxum's core offer today has evolved even further than that. They build predictive engines today that layer over the things you need, and running a referral marketing company that feel like a top salesperson sitting next to you, suggesting what to do next. And the most powerful part that we'll get into on the show is the types of decisions you're able to make. There's a lot of reasons referral marketing companies fail, and companies in this channel just struggle. And then there's a big difference between the ones that last for decades and legacies. And it really comes down to how they make decisions and the type of technology they have so they can make good decisions at the end of the day. So I'm excited for the show. Thank you so
I
much for
could
inviting me to be
see,
out, Jeremy. That's kind of the hot take on the top notes.
no, I
Back to you.
appreciate that
Yeah.
background. So it sounds like,
Yeah.
You had an interesting journey, and I do want to get into
Sure.
a point that you said in a second, which is, something turned around for you with the selling piece, which we'll get into. But
Sure.
you built you kind of were trying to fill a need that you had. Then you found Naxum and the owner, and they acquired you, and you kind of merged into their software. Talk about your evolution, your role at Naxum, because I
Sure.
know you
Yeah.
started, and then I know at some point you're the chief sales officer, and then you become CEO. Talk about your role and how that dynamic worked with, with the founder.
Sure. So the founder's still here. Rod and I work together every day. So in 2010, when we acquired our the blogging technology they had from the previous company, ended up becoming the CSO and chief sales officer, doing revenue. We were out selling marketing systems, CRMs, landing pages, sales tools. It was all what people really needed in 2010, 11, 12. Now, sometimes it's hard to rewind your brain to what life was like in 2010. But if you go back 15 years, you're like autoresponders were these life-changing things. Like email automation was just such a new thing in 2010. I know you mentioned Aweber earlier on the podcast, and I mean Aweber was pretty darn new in 2010, right? Like all these guys were
Oh
pretty darn
yeah.
new
I had
back
like
then.
even
Yeah,
before Weber, I had something that ran, I forgot what it's called, like something generic, like auto response that ran on the hosting that wasn't even a
yeah.
software. So yeah, I totally
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah. It was, I mean, it was life-changing to people to have even email automation, right? I mean, no one was even thinking about ChatGPT and AI and everything we do today, but it was a totally different world. But we evolved. So in 2010, there were seven of us. We were serving a bunch of companies, but it was seven staff, right? And I think a big part of this evolution is the type of company you become. In We had a lot of clients who would use our marketing systems, but we didn't do commission tracking. We didn't do traditional back offices. We didn't do the traditional tracking work at that time. And they would say, well, we love working with you guys on marketing systems. Could you do our back office too? And so one of our engineers said, of course I can in December of 2012. And he literally built one of our clients' commission engine and a virtual office. And we launched them in 2013. And we ended up evolving and building this platform called UNIFY, where instead of having three, four, sometimes five different providers to open a referral marketing channel, someone could do it all in one. And we built that product in the beginning of 2013. And UNIFY's been a real hit. Like 80% of our clients today are UNIFY clients. They're on our platform, running everything for their business's referral marketing channel, from back office to LMS to events platform to commission tracking to predictive marketing tools, and in that. And in that time, we moved from 7 employees to 12. And I moved to the CEO seat. So I'm a business development CEO. I do a lot of the strategy. I lead the sales team, lead the ops, and we evolved. And we then, in those next few years, it was 10 more employees a year, and 10 more employees a year, and five more employees this year, and 10 more this year. And there's 65 of us here full time, at the company. So I'm very humbled by the whole journey, Jeremy, because it seems like every 8, 9 employees, it's a completely different company, right? When you go through this in life, like this communication changes, the challenges change, what you do to run an organization and serve customers and have happy customers and be there for them, evolves. And you have to create some stuff out of that. I'll share on the journey. If you go to our culture and shoot to over the North Stars, like one of the things we do that none of my competitors in the space do, that even do parts of our system, is a 0 to 24 hour brand promise. And when you build enterprise software for large sales organizations, like a lot of groups just say, yeah, if anything breaks, yeah, just get in line and engineers will fix it and you pay per hour no matter what. We're bold. We say, hey, if something breaks in the system we said was live, we'll fix it at no cost to you in 0 to 24 hours, right? We'll take care of anything. As Apple makes updates or Google makes updates, we'll fix it and we won't charge you for it. And if it breaks, we'll fix it, right? And we've had that brand promise for almost a decade now as something that's been a North Star to how we treat and steward our customers in our world. Yeah, today I serve still as CEO. Rod, our founder, is CFO and he's our vision officer. So he's on the ops side a lot more. I'm on the sale, get this at time on the sales side, and then Joe Russell, our COO, is right here in Chicagoland with me too, and he leads a lot of the development and innovation on our side for our teams.
With the hiring, talk about that for a second. Is it a lot of developers that you're bringing on, or is it different types of positions?
So great question. In the beginning, we had all of our staff in the U.S., right? In the beginning, it was all in the U.S. And in my previous company, before Naxum, I had hired a lot of web designers in the Philippines. My wife's Filipino. Kehlani and I met when we were at NIU, we were little kids at church when we met at NIU as college students. And so I've always had staff in the Philippines. And one of the things that happened when I became CEO of Naxum was, hey, let's go double down on staffing in the Philippines. So we expanded from designers to engineers to project managers to customer support. And we actually had 2 offices in the Philippines, fully staffed up through COVID. And so I would go back and forth from Chicagoland to Philippines. And we served customers all over the world between a mix of US and Filipino staff. And it wasn't until after COVID, COVID was a very interesting time that I think we could spend a ton of time on. But for our company, it meant everyone working from home. Even though we had these big, beautiful offices in the Philippines, the mayors of these towns said, well, you're not essential, right? You're a bunch of engineers, right? You're a bunch of customer service folks. You're not essential. Stay home. And so our staff ended up moving to bigger and bigger homes so they could accommodate for a home office, right? They would all switch their homes during that time. And so when the restrictions lasted a lot longer in the Philippines than they did here in Chicago. And so when we were all back in our offices, back with each other in regular life, they were still stuck in their homes, right? That was not how it worked in the Philippines. So they had almost a full year of extra time of isolation. And so when it was finally time to go back to offices, all of our staff had already, of course, moved to bigger and better houses, and there was no need. They had already proven that they could execute well and knock out their work where they were. And so that was a change for us that made us truly global. I mean, we have staff in Dubai, we have staff in Scotland, we have staff in Egypt, we have staff in Nigeria. A lot of people say Nigeria. There's more British MBAs in Nigeria than any other country in the world. There's 200 million people in Nigeria, so it's 300 here in America. And so a lot of people don't know that, but we basically have the Johnny Ive of Nigeria as our VP of design. So Midi's a very talented guy and is on our team. And so through our presence and what we've done on LinkedIn, our HR teams just attracted some really talented people who just were not limited by geography anymore. And we all work on the same time zone. We all knock out our stuff together and spend time together on Zoom and in Basecamp. We're big 32 Signals people. We run everything in Basecamp, another great Chicago company that we live out of. So all project management we use inside of their platform, and we build enterprise software for customers. And that's what we do.
Talk about the evolution of the product a little bit. I know you mentioned a little
Sure.
bit, first generation, second generation of the product, and third generation, and just run us through really quickly. What did the first generation look like, and second, and then we can talk about. I know with the third, there's a lot of predictive stuff built into it.
Sure. Well, if you think about how you make decisions, I think one of the most important things we can think about in referral marketing is the type of data you look at, right? And a lot of people who want to open a referral marketing channel for their business go right to just getting a CRM or like an affiliate platform, and they're thinking about tracking transactions, right? So it's enrollments, cancellations, subscriptions, payments, commissions, and that's what a first gen system is. And there's lots of first gen systems in the marketplace. There's a ton of different ways to track transactions and track commissions. Nothing special about that anymore. But that's what a first gen system is. Second gen systems help you go deeper into your pipeline. They track the leading indicators, right? The things that create transactions in your world. For you, if you're an insurance company, it might be people having breakfast together because you're selling them whole life insurance, or it could be popping on a one-on-one Zoom, or maybe it's someone coming to your lunch and learn, right? So you have these activities that are a leading indicator to someone making a purchase decision, right? And second gen systems track those, right? They're tools like CRMs, landing pages, webinar platforms, video email tools. They track all the things that are happening before the purchase. And when I first jumped in at Naxum, we were a second gen system already, right? We were building first and second gen platforms. Third gen technology is really unique and interesting. On our website under the products, it would be the predictive action technology, and these predictive mobile apps. And what third gen tech does is it allows you to get information that you never had access to before. So predictive mobile technology allows you to track the activities your salespeople are doing on their devices without them reporting them to you. So it's not about someone like filling out a CRM or dutifully taking notes inside of a system. Third gen tech will actually track the phone calls, the text messages, the shares on social media that your staff are doing on their devices for your business, so that you can track which ones actually got someone to a website, or which ones got someone to the webinar, which ones got someone to the breakfast meeting. And then, of course, later you're going to track commissions. And it's interesting. When we first built the third gen platform, and even today, we're still the only commercially available group that does this type of technology in the space. That probably won't be the case, Jeremy, in 6 months, a year time. There's been other groups wanting to build third gen tech, but we've been blessed to say the last 5 years we've had it kind of to ourselves in the sense that in the referral marketing space, we're the only one that does the third gen stuff, and it's created some really great opportunities. An easy way to think about it for the listeners, if you think about platforms like Noom or MyFitnessPal. Okay, I don't know if any of you guys have done Noom or MyFitnessPal, maybe to gain muscle or lose weight. Hey, I'm married. I have 3 kids that are under 9, and I'm a very supportive husband. I've gained just as much weight as my wife every time we've had a baby. I don't know if you've experienced that, Jeremy, in your life, but I've gained 40 pounds along with my wife every time we have a child. My wife's an athlete. She did gymnastics at NIU, so she loses her weight instantly as she breastfeeds the children. I have to compete with my friends at church over at Christ Community on my app of how much calories or food or water I drank each day with my fitness pal, right? And that's how I lose my dad weight every time we have a kid, right? For the next year, right? So that the same way you compete and win the day on my fitness pal is how we crack the code on sales organizations. Well, salespeople, like whether you're at think of different direct selling companies like a Pampered Chef in town, right? Where they commit to daily habits, where someone would commit to, I'm going to reach out to this many people each day. I'm going to follow up with this many. I'm going to spend this much time growing my mindset or my skill set. I'm going to share on social media twice today. And when they commit to daily habits, we make the interfaces all about, did you win the day or not? But you take away the self-reporting part in software. The key is that they shouldn't just be marking boxes of, yeah, I won the day. That doesn't count, Jeremy. Self-reporting doesn't count. Use predictive tools to track them actually doing it. Don't have them tell you they did it, right? And that's what's really special is we're able to pull a ton of data of not what people say they're doing, but what they're actually doing to promote our brands. And that's where you get to win. And the math is wild. One of the things I'll share with you that I've shared, we have a study we published the Direct Selling Executives Forum that I serve as the chair of. It's an industry group of a couple hundred direct selling executives. And we've shared that if you can just remove 20% of the waste in your sales pipeline in a referral marketing channel, based on benchmarks of our industry, if you just make it 20% more efficient, you actually double your revenue per sales rep. So it doesn't take some huge win to swing for the fences to have a big impact in referral marketing in your channel, right? If you can, if you make the decision of, okay, we're going to go do a referral marketing channel and we're going to do it like this, but then if you can use tools where you remove 20% of the waste of how many reach outs to follow-ups to demos to buys it takes, you now have double the income per sales rep. And that's where companies really start to win and shine.
But I want to dig into some use cases. But before we
Sure.
do, one thing that stuck out to me is there was a time where you're like, I was doing stuff, nothing was working, and then things
Sure.
started working. What have you found? I don't know if there was like some things you started implementing at that point. You said obviously you're following a system, or some things that worked for you in selling.
So in originally, when I first got into selling, I thought I would reinvent the wheel, right? And what that meant is I had all these ideas of I was going to hack my way to success, and they were the wrong target audience, is what it was at the end of the day. I didn't see it at the time. I didn't have the maturity to see it at the time. But a lot of people waste a lot of time in selling because they're just talking to the wrong person. So one of the things that I think is really important to understand is there is if your product creates value in the marketplace, okay, so I'm not talking about selling a rock pet or something on eBay that was just some weird, social media phenomenon. But if you have a product that actually creates real value in the marketplace, okay, think about who's the person that was down on their knees this morning saying, "Dear God, I I need X to solve this challenge in my life." Like the desperate person, the person who has pain in their life that your product is the solution to, right? And how can you go meet that person each day, right? I have a series of questions when I speak on stage for larger sales organizations when they're using our CRMs and our platforms that I walk people through who struggle with identifying their target audience. And the questions are these 3 simple questions. And if we have time, Jeremy, I can walk us through them
Go ahead.
because it's good stuff. So what's motivating that person? If you think about the person who prayed today, "Dear God, I need a solution to this challenge," right? Are they motivated by pain or pleasure? What do you think, Jeremy? Is that pain or pleasure motivating that person who's praying?
Pain.
It's usually pain every time. So now ask yourself, what pains does this person have? So if we're selling let's just talk about GLP-1s are popular, right? We have weight loss all over America today, right? As a weight loss product, kind of the trend of last year, right? From a bunch of our clients. So if you're trying to sell people how to lose weight, what pains, well, what cause you to be someone who wants to lose weight, right? Maybe you don't feel sexy, you're slow, you can't keep up with your kids at soccer practice, you don't have energy anymore, right? Well, your doctor told you you're going to die if you don't do something about it, right? You go down the list and you just identify the pains. But here's the magic question. Question 3 is where it is, Jeremy. And I'll give it to you, and you guys can use this at Rise 25. Use it wherever. It says, what do people who have these pains, the ones we just listed, okay, not feeling sexy, not enough energy, sluggish, right, already do to solve them? So there's a bit of a trick in the question. What do they already do to solve them? So there's an assumption. There's an assumption that there's 2 types of people. And this is the part that I missed when I was 18 and first got into sales. There's this one person who says, I have this pain, but it's not my fault. So I know I'm sluggish and I can't keep up with the kids, but it's not my fault. That I call that person the couch potato, not in an insulting way. They're the person who's not taking accountability. They're not going to do anything about it anyway, even if there was a solution. So why would you spend your time with that person? Even if they were educated, they're not going to do it because they're not going to take accountability. But then there's this second person in the assumption who's the sprinter. And the sprinter says, oh, I know I have this pain, but by God, I'm doing X to solve it, right? I'm doing this workout program. I'm doing this diet program. I'm taking action in this way. And that's the person you want to talk to, because they're the one that if they heard about your solution, whether you're selling insurance or you're selling weight loss or you're selling clothing, whatever you're selling, right? That's the person that if they knew you existed, they'd be like, oh my gosh, I would love to try it. Like I'm taking action right now, getting that part of my life better. Right. And that's the person to spend time with. And so it's not to be rude or anything else. It's just like go spend time with people who value you. It's like what we teach our kids when they're at school, right? It's like, hey, your peer group of friends, the people who value you, not the people who think you're an idiot. Like go spend time with people who value you, and even relationships in our life. Like we all want to do that, right, Jeremy, at a deeper level. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. That's really instructive. And it makes perfect sense. But sometimes the things are, obvious. They're not so obvious, right? They're just
Sure.
those little subtleties that make a big difference. So thanks for pointing that out. There's some misconceptions around how people choose to leverage referral marketing. Can you
Sure.
talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I would love to. This is a kind of a pet peeve of mine. I think many times when you say referral marketing, someone's mind goes immediately to like either the extreme of like just an affiliate program where, okay, we're gonna have these affiliates out here just sharing links off a blog, or it shoots over to influencers. Okay, are there people on TikTok or Instagram that are gonna talk about me? Or it goes to this other far extreme on the other side that would be like MLM, right? Like multi-level marketing, network marketing. A lot of those words are party plan marketing of, okay, do we create some kind of a downline and program where we're not only incentivizing selling products, but we're also incentivizing recruiting others to sell products? And what you have to realize is referral marketing can look like a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So instead of thinking about the mode of how you compensate or why you compensate, there's usually 2 reasons you're compensating referral marketing. You're either looking for introductions that become customers or introductions that become resellers, right? And there's a spectrum of different types of referral marketing programs. None of them are bad or evil, right? If they are, don't do it, right? Don't do the evil bad ones. Don't go to jail. That's a horrible idea in business, right? Do things that honor God and do good things in your world. So there's the spectrum first of what you want to reward. Are you gathering customers first, or are you gathering salespeople for us? And that's the difference between an affiliate program that might pay one level that has 0 incentives to refer other affiliates versus like a network marketing concept where, hey, you earn the majority of money if you're the one making the sales, but hey, you can earn an override if you refer someone else. If you think about traditional bigger businesses here in town, Keller Williams Real Estate is a 7-level, multi-level marketing program. Exit Realty here in town, the Canadian company, is a 2-level affiliate program. Basically, hey, you make the majority of commissions yourself and you get a 10% override if you refer someone else who's a realtor in our group, right? So traditional businesses do multi-level marketing too, all the time in the area. But the bigger part to think about referral marketing, I think most people miss, to your question, Jeremy, is for who, right? For whom, right? So you might think of your retail customers, and you might have an incentive if you have a subscription of, hey, refer 3 of your friends and yours is free, right? Well, that's referral marketing. right? Some of you, the answer to what referral marketing channel should we have in our life is we should tell our customers that subscribe for 4 chiropractic adjustments a month, that refer 3 friends who are also getting chiropractic adjustments a month, and we just stop billing your credit card for every month. 3 of your friends pay for their adjustments for 4 a month. We don't bill your credit card for the following month. And as long as they keep doing that, and 3 of your friends do it, you get free adjustments for life. Okay, that's one model. That's customer rewards programs, and there's a whole science to different customer rewards programs. And what gets wild about this and fun is you can stack these things, right? You may, in your business, we could go down the line of, we were joking about weight loss earlier, but if you have a weight loss program that works for people, maybe you do a nutritional cleanse. I have a couple clients doing these nutritional cleanse programs, right? Their customers can refer other customers, and they can get their box of product for free next month because they did that. But they also have affiliates, right? They pay commissions. So if someone's a super fan, they might become an affiliate at that nutritional plans company and earn commissions for referring other people to their program. That's traditional. But then there's a non-traditional approach that a lot of people miss today. That's very popular. The fastest growing niche in America today is the professional business opportunity space. And a lot of people don't realize this. The pain in America is underemployed business professionals. And you're missing, a lot of people miss this. There's a lot of business professionals, millions, who want to earn more money, but don't want to build a new network. And they miss out on this. This is the big niche, is we call them certified reseller programs. But if you have a physical product or distribution, you can go sign up for one of these programs and take a course and be trained. It's usually $100, $200, and you're now a certified reseller for that brand, and you're likely onboarding businesses to that brand. So if we go back to the weight loss example, maybe you're now selling not to humans your weight loss product. Maybe you're selling to chiropractors, and they're buying it wholesale and they're selling to the humans, or med spas and such. And so what's funny about these different referral channels is, and what's cool about Naxum, is we have clients who do 3, sometimes 4 of these different channels, all in the same SaaS stack, like all in the exact same enterprise software platform. So within the same infrastructure, you might have retail customers referring friends for 3 and it's free. You might have affiliates earning commissions who are out there sharing on TikTok and Instagram. And then you might have a training course for the super passionate super fans who want to sell to businesses that are certified resellers, that are out there onboarding businesses who are buying wholesale instead of a wholesale shopping cart. And so you can actually stack multiple referral marketing channels, and they're not right for everybody, but this one is really right for this niche of people who talk to people this way. And this one's really good for professional business opportunity folks who are looking to partner with us in this different way. But instead of it being discombobulated and you're trying to track all these 3 separate CRMs or 3 separate plugins to your Shopify store on all these other platforms, why not have them all in one enterprise system? Right? And that's really where Naxum has evolved to today. And it didn't start there, but that's where we've come to, Jeremy, is solving that unique problem has been where we win the most in the
I'd love
space.
to hear some of your favorite examples. And it could be companies you work with for referral programs, it could be companies you work with, or just
Sure,
ones you've seen in the wilds. I mean, you're exactly right. We use Gusto as our kind of like payment platform to staff, and
sure,
they actually make it easy. Like I forgot what it is. It's maybe a couple $100, to refer
sure.
someone. I mean, we often refer because we like it, but it's an extra incentive. If you're like, okay, I'll make a couple dollars doing it. What are some of your favorite examples that you work with or that you've just seen out in the wild?
I'll give you a good one from I'm going to rewind 9 years. We'll go 2016. This was a cool one just because they were a 4-year-old referral marketing company. They had an MLM style pay plan, and they were selling education on how to trade the markets. So they had these live trainers. You could subscribe, and you could watch people trade euros for US dollars. It wasn't crypto or anything. It was all US dollar, like trading yen, euros, US dollar stuff. And they were a tiny company. They were doing under 6 figures a month in revenue, 4 years old. And what they did that was so cool when we onboarded them in August of 2016 is we ended up building 2 key things. We did a refer to and it's free program. They were just a simple $150 a month style subscription. And so people would subscribe to their education and go trade. But they told those retail customers, hey, if you like this education, share it with your friends. And if 2 of them subscribe, yours is free. right? And we built the billing system for that, where, hey, if Jeremy's referred to, waive Jeremy's bill next month. And then if those people pay again, waive it again. If they paid again, waive it again. Oh, one of them misses a payment, bill Jeremy's card, right? And we just automatically did that, right? Which was really cool. But what was neat is they had then a referral program where if you had referred a third person, you now made money. So so it was this really natural lead in as someone was a fan of the brand. Like if you were a fan of the brand, of course you're going to refer to your friends. But then you realize once you've referred to this notification of, oh, would you like to become one of our brand ambassadors and earn money? And what do I have to do that? Oh, refer one more. Well, you've already referred two. So, and there were people who ended up referring thousands. That group in just 2 years grew to over 200,000 members of that network. And they went from uh, under $100,000 a month, so under $1 million a year, to 10 million a month the end of that first year. And they grew by 10 million a month per year for 6 years in a row. And it's a wild story. And so it's those types of projects where I say they did a really good job of allowing someone to experience their products and their brand. And if they were a fan, get it for free. And then if they were a super fan, hey, come earn money with us as a brand ambassador. And it built an amazing channel for that education company. And and you talk about in the wild, I'll pick on Code Cloud as an interesting example. So Code Cloud, one of my clients runs the group brightmarketer.org. If you check out brightmarketer.org, it's like educational courses for people who want to sell like SEO or pay-per-click or freelance, like different freelance marketing skills to local businesses, right? And Matt Guevara, who owns that, is someone I've known my whole life. He's my client there. And what Matt used to run the email marketing for Code Cloud. So Code Cloud was not one of my clients. They teach DevOps programming courses.
Is this it
And
right
this is
here?
Bright Marketer.
I
Yep,
gotcha.
that's his
Okay,
company
cool.
today. That's Matt's hand. There you go. That's the back of Matt's head. There you go. He's this great guy here out of Rockford, Illinois. I've known Matt since we were little kids. Really good guy. And their organization does a referral marketing program for their students to refer other customers inside of their space. But what Matt did at Code Cloud, I thought was so interesting, is when people would finish courses at Code Cloud was not SaaS. It was like a pay $10 for this course, pay $15 for that course type setup, where Bright Marketers more people spending 200, $150 a month to kind of all you can eat, courses. But at Code Cloud, what they did is they did certifications with a platform called Credly, and it's out of Pearson Education. And what's so cool about it is people would take classes, they would earn these certifications, and when they would earn them, it would share them on their LinkedIn profiles. And so their viral growth that they would track is like a key performance indicator, Jeremy, of how they're growing their business. And Bright does the same thing. They're partnered with Credly as well. But what both these brands do is people end up earning these badges for finishing courses, and they share them on LinkedIn, and their friends are like, "Oh, that's cool." And then some of their friends are like, "Oh, I want to get that badge too." And so they go sign up for their education programs and take the course. And so it's like referral virally on LinkedIn for badges, right? Of all the things, Jeremy. And so I just want to encourage people, referral marketing can look way different than many of us think, right? Code Cloud grew to over 400,000 members off badges being shared on LinkedIn and other engineers seeing their engineer friends learning DevOps Basics 201 and then saying, "Oh, I want to learn that too." And then signing up for Code Cloud and paying $10 and taking the course and doing it. So once again, I think a lot of us prejudge what referral marketing can look like. And if you want to explore referral marketing for a channel, I just think meet with people who have built a lot of them, and I'm humbled by the projects I've been invited to participate in. And it's amazing to see what's possible. And a lot of times you're facing something as a business owner that you think is only you, and yet there's dozens of people who have faced it before. And so I would encourage your listeners, just never be in despair. Always be curious and go be willing to learn about a niche, because it may just have exactly what you were missing to accelerate where you're wanting to go.
Yeah. And Ben, thanks for bringing this to light. When I was checking out your LinkedIn, your website, this stuck out to me. If people are
Yeah, the
looking at
why.
this, as we love to inspire and reward billions of businesses' souls to gamify. But what sticks out with that
Hmm.
story is the gamify part, right? Really, what they
Yep.
did with the badges is they really created a gamification of the action that they wanted people to do, which is to finish the course and get the badge, right?
Yep. That's exactly it.
What else in there
Yeah.
in this as or maybe me missed the first time around just seeing this on your LinkedIn profile or on your website?
Sure.
Talk about this
Well,
this image that we're
well,
looking at here.
the biggest part of the why is understanding why you do it. This actually came from my own story selling real estate seminars, right? Is I love the idea that someone can be passionate about something. So as a little kid, I was really passionate about real estate, but you can be passionate about something, and referral marketing allows you to be a super fan and actually earn an income from referring whatever it is you're passionate about. So whether you're passionate about cooking and you're promoting Pampered Chef out of Addison, Illinois, and you're selling, pizza stones and knives to your friends, or Cutco, right? Al Leonardo, CEO of Cutco, spoke on my show. Nevena Sabreva, who's the CEO of Pampered, has spoken on my show in the DSEF, right? What referral marketing does, it allows you to share products you care about and earn from it. And that's what the magical power of referral marketing is you didn't invent it, you didn't ship it, you didn't manufacture it, whether it was a product or a service. You just shared something you had a great experience with somebody else, and you earned from that. That's really special. And it was a big part of our story. Like, if I didn't have those 4 years as a referral marketer before getting into the vendor side of the space, I wouldn't be here. Like, I'm here because of how it changed my family's life. We were just young kids from a farm community south of Rockford, outside of kind of middle of Nowhereville, Illinois. There were 200 people in our town growing up, Jeremy. Like, I didn't know any of this stuff was possible as a young kid. And if you would ask me what's God's plan in your life, I would have no idea. This would be the direction of the last 3 decades, right, in my world. And I was blown away by what was possible and how fast it was possible. And so it all takes hard work, and you got to still show up and do the work. But it's a powerful vehicle to allow your fans to promote you in a special way. That's what I think a lot of people should look at.
I want to dig into the weeds a little bit about some use cases and how people are actually using Naxum.
Sure.
I don't know which one you want to start with. I know we talked about Pampered Chef, John Hancock, the Fit
Oh,
for
the life
the
insurance
life
company.
insurance, and
Yeah,
then iMarkets Live. Which one you think would be
sure.
good to highlight?
Well, so earlier we talked about the referral marketing. That was iMarkets Live, was the education company with the two for free. So, and we've briefly spoke about Pampered Chef as a model. Think about so let's think about John Hancock Insurance. I think this is a good, unique one. Insurance companies historically are very conservative about what can be posted on social media to promote. So if you're someone who's a trained person in real estate or trained in insurance, right? You may be selling in a very highly regulated world. And one of the things we did for their brand, they have a brand called FinFit Life down at Madison 500, down at the Accenture Tower here downtown, where Jeremy and I live, right? And what they did is they created a predictive mobile app with our technology, where they gave done for you social media content to all their agents. But what they did that was unique is we're not just having them post, corporate videos that are not going to engage anyone. But you've probably seen this on your own Instagram feed or LinkedIn, all these reaction videos, right? And people reacting, all the other videos over here. Well, the reason we do that is because the social networks ghost us if we don't. So I'll give you an example. One of my clients for years is a company called Tastefully Simple out of Minnesota. They sell spices and jams and jellies, and we sell hundreds of millions of dollars of them each year. And we would share recipes on social media, and people would buy our jams and jellies. But if we had 10,000 women share the same recipe card on the same day, it would all get ghosted and no one would see it. And so we needed a way to co-create on social media, but yet stay compliant. And so what we did at the insurance companies that's so smart is you end up creating videos about how to be your own bank with whole life insurance that are compliant, right? Not just your salespeople making them up, but you load them into your predictive engine, and then you have your sales reps react to them. And so your sales reps are out there just saying, next to your compliant content. And now if 10,000 agents share the same video on the same day, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook all say, oh, well, that one's unique. That one has Jeremy's face, and that one has Ben's face. And oh, wow, that one's different than the other one, even though you're reacting to the same video. And so it's been really cool stuff like that. And then we get all the data on the back end of exactly which social posts people shared, which ones they didn't, which ones got people to leave social and come to the website, which ones didn't. And that's where predictive stuff just helps you make better decisions at the end of the day in running one of these channels and doing it efficiently.
No, I love
Well,
that. Those
total
are,
treat.
I mean, I watch those on YouTube. Anyways, you're like, there could be the
Sure.
same clip of Bill Burr's comedy, and I may
Yeah.
watch like two different, it's the same comedy, but two different people commenting. And it is
Yeah.
interesting to hear how people's take on it. So yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. That's
You got it.
ideal clients for you. Who are ideal customers for Naxum?
It's the people, yeah, Naxum's ideal customers are people who want an army of 1099 people promoting their offers. And so when I say an army is there's a ton of solutions. If you're going to have 10 salespeople sitting in your office or 10 independent folks, you're probably not the right fit for Naxum as a platform. We're not built for those smaller groups. But if you plan to have 1,000 1099 people and up in your world, and you might have zero today, and that's okay if you have zero today. But if you know that like you want to have 1,000, right? You're zero today and you want to have 1,000, then talk to us because we'd be the right fit then. If groups who want to have 10 to 20 salespeople, there's a gazillion solutions from Go High Level to Salesforce.com to all kinds of other platforms you can grab for small sales teams. And you get into a lot of really dynamic challenges as soon as you get to hundreds and thousands of salespeople. Some of our clients have as many as 700,000 salespeople promoting a product. So you have to think about that for a second. You're like, oh my gosh, they're in 50 countries and all that. Yes. And so it gets it gets pretty complicated, right? Of what to do to support that. But if you are like, yeah, for our brand, we could see having 1,000 referral partners and up. Yeah, it's worth meeting with our team, going through a discovery session, exploring what types of solutions are right for you. And we're very hands-on as a group. We host clients here in Chicago all the time for their production. We know that software projects can be tough, and so we're super hands-on in how we help and how we host workshops and how we make sure people execute well. And so that part's exciting. But
It
check us
sounds
out. You
like
can go
it
to
could be
naxumtour.com.
it
Yep.
could be naxumtour.com, you said?
Mhm.
It
Yeah,
sounds
they
like it
can go
could
to
be
naxumtour.com or
B2B. There's
naxum.com
B2B
or
companies,
B2C.
there's also B2C companies
Yep,
as well.
there is. Yeah, we serve both. Yeah,
Got it. I have one last question, Ben. First of all, thanks for walking through the journey. This has been really
you
instructive.
got it.
One last question is your favorite resources. And now it could be books, it could be software. I know you mentioned the speed of trust. I know you mentioned
Sure.
Basecamp. I know I've heard you talk in videos about loving the book Traction with Gino Wickman. What are some of your
I love Gino's
favorite
work.
other books and software that people should check out?
Yeah. So today, if you're selling solutions, so if you already mentioned Gino Wickman, if you're running operations of a company and you're under 40 million a year in sales, check out Gino Wickman's work with Traction. It's a book I hand out to business owners at church and friends and everyone in the community. I think it's a great place to start. If you are selling, we talked about the selling stuff earlier today, the problem solution selling that we were all taught years ago is not resonating today at all in enterprise sales. If you're in selling today, a great two books you can check out are Matt Dixon's work. So same last name as me. He's not my cousin, not my brother, but Matthew Dixon runs the Challenger Sale and the Challenger Customer. It's about 28 hours long of audiobooks, but he will help you create a playbook with key insights to engage and sell your target audience that I believe is very valuable. So if I wanted to share kind of a recent one, I get through 3-4 books a month. But Matt Dixon's work is what I would invite you guys to dig into deep if you haven't yet. Challenger Sale and Challenger Customer. Read both, okay, in order, and do that, and you'll be blessed. But
And,
Jeremy, I want to say thank you so
yeah, go
much
ahead.
for having me out here today. It was a total treat to be on the show, and looking forward to our relationship and getting a chance to meet you more. It's good to connect.
Love it. I want to encourage everyone, check out Naxum.com. You can check out NaxumTour.com and more episodes of the podcast. And we'll see everyone next time. Ben, thanks so much.
What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. And right now, I'm feeling like 100 grand.